If there's one thing that the Western world has absolutely failed to do, or two things, should I say. The first is to provide a sense of what culture really means. And the second is a sense of perspective. The Western world will never tell you that there are cultures all around the world that, first of all, outnumber the Western world, second of all, have amassed their own wealth, like the Western world, and thirdly, have been very capable of running civil-mannered communities without having to rely on the exploitation of black people for as long as they feel that their time on earth remains just. The lack of cultural insights has led to a demise in the Western world, and it is evident that there is a lack of culture when you compare Americanism to any country in the Middle East, whether it be the wealth of Dubai or the architecture of Morocco or the agriculture of Congo, and even further and beyond. The Western world is a blank sheet of paper, and I mean it. They are unbelievably lost as to what reality looks like, and I mean it. When you don't have cultural insight, you create a problem where you trick your mind into being convinced that you are the only people on planet Earth and that you are the only successful group of people. Where, as a matter of fact, like I told you, I only like to deal with the facts. The success of America would have never come without the black man, and you are only further emphasizing my points to the extent where I tell you that until America or the Western world decides to actually get the opportunity to learn about the black man rather than hating or biting the hand that's feeding them, perhaps you will see a change. It is blatant to anybody who is coming into the Western world that they are entering a peak society, a society that peaked, that can no longer grow or develop, that is actually moving backwards. And I don't know how to further emphasize that, because you will never learn your place in the world until perhaps you bring yourself to the realization that you have never seen the world, that you would never even be accepted in parts of the world, not because those parts aren't accepting, but because you lack basic skills when it comes to relating to other people. These people you would never see the day that a white man would walk into West Africa and without the authorities of Ghana or Nigeria approving of their agreements. You will never see the day that they will walk there and try to establish any sense of colonialism, although that's what they secretly try to do. The westernized countries, or the Western countries of Africa, have developed a secure sense of independence. And it's through this independence that they have been able to actually establish a peaceful living agreement with the white people. And let me not even talk about the relationship with white America and the Middle East. There will never ever be the day where you would see that these Americans could bring their lack of culture to the world masses, because the world does not operate the same way America does. The world knows that when you enslave one group of black people, there will be a rippling effect regarding the remaining black masses who are alert to the acts that white America has committed, and as a result have built up the necessary defense and skills to the point where America or white people in the Western Hemisphere would never step foot in these countries without there being a sense of a tension or chaos, something that America is too scared to ever embrace again, and it is blatantly obvious. You can simply see for the first time in a long time how hesitant the American courts, the system, and the police are to put on trial or to justify their claims against black people, because we have seen nothing more than skyrocketing data and situations where these authorities are facing the appropriate justice by being facing the same incarceration that they set up for black people. You will find them now falling into due to their fraud and their lack of societal commitment towards their constitution, which was supposed to have freed the black man, but what you will see now is nothing more than their greedy attempts to slither around into black communities and try to extract any more wealth due to the large amounts of massive debt that they have collected amongst themselves and themselves only, despite the fact that the black man has worked amongst these white people and given them a fair sense of establishment and asked for nothing in return. You will find that these white people still remain incapable of managing the wealth, the trade, the agreements, and the settlements to the tariffs in which China puts upon their importation, to their inability to even agree with the powers of Africa alone, which is the main reason you need to understand this. Is because black people are very hesitant to actually project what's going on in terms of the state that white people have put them in. And this is what makes white people so passive and smiling, that black people are too afraid to hurt the white people's feelings. And that is why they believe you every time you pat them on the head like a dog, and they underpay you, they throw racial slurs at you, they isolate you because you just accept it. Get whatever resource you have now and tell them exactly what these people have put you through. Do not ever in your life take on the inherent problem of a oppressor. Let them know that the day that they can throw chaos within your community is over. And should they seek to throw any more chaos or any further conflict, I am convinced it will only come around and turn back on them. Because if you're not going to carry it, if I'm not going to carry it, if the black people in Africa will not carry it, I don't know who will besides them. And if they couldn't carry it by themselves, and they needed all these black people to vent their problems out onto, I must tell you, for the first time, I truly do feel bad for them.